We are officially live. Hello and salutations, all my lovely wrestling fans out there. And welcome to another rendition of the Grapple Gumshoes, your mystery wrestling review team here at BC WrestlePod. And you might be wondering to yourself, JVL, you got a lot huskier and you lost the beard. And that's because, well, it's not JVL, silly. This is me, Mikey, who is in the lead position. I find myself in a odd position here as I don't normally lead the mystery wrestling, but due to circumstances, I am now in the driver's seat. I'm on top. I am in the power position, so to speak. And if those were innuendos that you thought you heard, then you would be actually very correct. So I'm on top finally. Just kidding. But of course, I am Mikey El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, and joining me this evening is, well, one of our newer members to the Grapple Gumshoes, and he's back for a second round. But Benny is here to help me review Wrestling 19. So happy to have you here, my friend.
Happy to be here. I wish I had brought my Sherlock Holmes plate. Let's rock and roll, my friend.
Absolutely. So we are going to be going through all the things that happened with Mystery Wrestling 19. Of course, we were originally going to be here last Thursday to review it, but I'm telling y'all, the flu bug, the cold, whatever you want to call it, is hitting everybody hard. So we rescheduled it for night, and here we are 2 weeks later to sit and ponder and reflect about everything that happened in Wrestling 19. But before we get into it, to kind of keep the announcement short, because I really want to talk about this show, because I was laughing my booty off with this one. For reals. I mean, this was fantastic. But if you like what you see here, follow us on YouTube and subscribe. Hit, follow on Twitch or Kick, whatever your preferred platform of choice is. Hit that button, elbow drop it, if you will. But if you want to, be able to interact with us on a smaller scale, you can follow us at BC WrestlePod on all our social medias, where you will find our report cards, our previews of the weekly shows for the most part. Today kind of got away from me for ROH, and I didn't feel like uploading a TNA one because we were getting a whole Matt and Jeff Hardy Halloween special, and I was just like, no matches. Okay, we ain't gonna do it. We're good. But we also have some merchandise at our shop, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. And yeah, let's just get into it. So we are back in Gatineau, Quebec, Canada, as the kids say. So we are back in Mystery Wrestling home turf for Mystery Wrestling 18. We are in Toronto as part of AEW's All Out Toronto weekend. But now we are back in the home base of Mystery Wrestling in Quebec, Canada. And yeah, so I love this was a really fun show. And, we had, of course, Simon Miller, internet fame and Progress Wrestling, or Simon D. Miller, happening for Mystery Wrestling 18. So this time around for Mystery Wrestling 19, listen, you're going to see a lot of different stuff, honestly, which is so. But for this round for Mystery Wrestling, of course, we have the velvet and masked voice of Evil Uno on commentary. And joining us this particular episode is the Power, Brian Powers. Of course, giving us the good old, Degeneration X suck it in this picture. And I am here for every single moment of it.
Yeah, he was a pretty good Batman. I wish he didn't have a goatee so we could see that jawline.
But you know what? Even though we didn't get to see the jawline, we did get Batman giving us operatic goodness to open the show too. So I was like, oh my, the vapors are forming. No, listen, I'm gonna be completely honest with you because it's me and Benny. It's about to get one of these tonight, y'all. So you better deal with it because listen, this was a bisexual's dream. I'm not even gonna lie.
Fair.
Very, yep. So, of course, Evil Uno, the Power, Brian Powers, would be giving us commentary all night long. So, let's get into it. So, as always, here at Mystery Wrestling, we begin with our ever favorite Druid match. So, for those of you who are uninitiated to a Druid match, basically, we get 4 wrestlers in the ring that are donned and clothed with the, black ceremonial robe of the Undertaker. And we don't know who's in this match until they reveal themselves. And when we got all 4 reveals, I was just like, immediately, best match, 10 out of 10. This is a bisexual's dream. Because not only was this the match of big guys and big gals and possibly non-binary pals in here, but this was for a championship match. So we get a fatal 4-way for the Progress Wrestling Atlas Championship. So this is the heavyweight division of Progress Wrestling. And of course, we have our champion representing Progress Wrestling and Atlas champion himself, Will Cruz. And he has to defend this title against my new man, Bear Bronson, my new Gabby Forza, aka Nomi the Bard, who I love her, and also daddy issues over here in the Butcher. Listen, all four of them can wrap me up in a blanket and we can call it a night. Especially Butcher. Call me.
You do you, bud. You do you.
They were nice to look at.
This Will Cruz guy I've never seen before, but like I was very impressed. Like I've seen him a couple times after this, and Bear Bronson, I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. Like this dude was unranked in the PWI for the majority of his career, and since June has gotten himself on the PWI. That's pretty impressive.
When you believe in yourself and you do everything that you can, like the hard work will definitely be rewarded. Very nice individual. He's a lovely person to talk to. So again, they were all nice to look at. But as far as the match goes, I love that we actually got husband and wife played a tag team in this match with Bear and Gabby in this match, which was really fun to watch. But again, yeah, I have to 100% agree with you. Of course, I am the Progress Wrestling person as well as Andrew. We covered Progress. Will Cruz has had a very fun arc over this year from, finally distancing himself from the Gene Money family to vying for the title and actually being able to win the Atlas Championship. He has been a very fun champion. And of course, this past weekend, he successfully defended his title too against, the amazing twat himself, Charles Crowley. Stay tuned more later tonight for that review for Progress because that's going to be fun. And I love Butcher so much. I was just like, this man is just living his life. He has a whole band. He is wrestling out here. We're gonna talk about him a little bit later when he says bye to Evil Uno like halfway during the show too. I was just like, I just want to hug him. He is just the sweetest man. He is the sweetest man, and I love him. And he plays the odd one out. He plays the bad guy, so to speak, in this one. I had a fun time. This was a lot of fun. Watching Gabby Forza lift all of these men were amazing to watch. I was like, you go, Gabby. You get one of these, girl.
Yeah, watching Gabby Forza's growth over the past few years has been, or at least over the last year or so, that she's come back from the knee injury. She's grown so much, and they're all fantastic. And good old Butch over here. Like that picture with the gnome hat on. Oh my God. That's comedy gold right there.
It was so amazing. Gabby giving everyone gnome hats, and then Butcher was like, none of this. And then the crowd obviously booed him. You're like, boo, how dare you take this gnome's hat and disrespect it like that, man. But this for real, be like, you will be shunned. But with some comedy bits and some really fun wrestling, Will Cruz does ultimately pick up the victory here, retaining his Progress Atlas Championship. This was a really fun Druid match, and you know what? Give me more of all of these folks in Mystery Wrestling going forward. I'm really excited, especially for Will, since, Mystery Wrestling 21 is going to come to us live from Cardiff, Wales. I was like, ooh, the amount of UK talent we can see on that show is really, really fun. So listen, I know that with Mystery Wrestling, we're going to get absolute chicanery and shenanigans. I had to pause because I was audibly crying of laughter.
Understandably.
How ridiculous this match was. And I was just like, you mean to tell me, Mystery Wrestling, out of everything that we have seen, we saw Baby Oil at the last one. We saw the final girls. We saw somebody get hit with a tent. We saw everything that has transpired in the last couple of shows that we have covered here or Mystery Wrestling. This is the one that got me. I could not. It took me a good 5 minutes to get myself together before I could continue watching.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like if there's anything that I love about wrestling, it's this kind of stuff. Like I love it can be like wrestling can be like a medium for pretty much anything, right? Like and comedy seems to fit really, really well. And it's too bad that Poe didn't give the fans what they wanted. But
rude. You had one job, Poe, and you couldn't do it.
But that the Megazord finish, like that was absolutely hilarious.
It's just like we actually took the time to get everyone stacked up and to do the moves for the Megazord-esque final. And of course, if it wasn't already said before with that statement, the Power Rangers do beat the Teletubbies. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Mystery Wrestling needs Blood Feud Give me a round 2, give me a best of 7, like Power Rangers versus Teletubbies fight ever, man.
Teletubby versus Power Rangers death match. Let's do
Oh my
it.
gosh, give me a hardcore match, anything goes match.
War
Last
game.
War Games with the Power Rangers and Teletubbies, let's go, man. But again, I love that Mystery Wrestling can give us, like, really fun actual wrestling matches and then absolute ridiculousness, which we're gonna talk more about that ridiculousness as we continue on with the show. But again, the Power Rangers are successful here. Moving on, we kind of get a regular, more, grounded match for Mystery Wrestling. So in match 3, we have a good old fashioned tag team match in which we have, of course, the Rogues taking on, not our first time seeing them again, but we get a return of the Shooter Boys. So it is the Rogues versus the Shooter Boys here from this one. And again, this was a more grounded tag team match, which I think Mystery Wrestling does a very good job of giving us the ridiculousness that we saw beforehand with the Teletubbies and the Power Rangers fighting off and squaring up. And then we get a really fun tag team match between these two teams. So again, I am newer to both of them. This is my first introduction to the Rose, and this is only the second time that I have seen the Shooter Boys. But I like what I see from both teams, and I would love to see more of their stuff. So I'm gonna have to make sure I start looking for their things to watch because I had a fun time with this one.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'd never heard of the Road. To be honest with you, like I even got a question mark in my notes because I couldn't catch their names. But like the Shooter Boys, they're really good. I've seen them around a couple times around my area, and but like they're still young, so like it was like it was hard for me to be like, oh, I do know those guys. They're trained by Creative Pro Wrestler. They're the current reigning and defending Wrestling Open Tag Team Champions. They're fantastic.
So again, I really had a fun time with this one. Of course, it would be the Rogues who do pick up a victory over the Shooter Boys. But again, a very fun, grounded tag team match. And this was a palate cleanser because then I think in terms of ridiculousness and shenanigans, I think this was my favorite match of the entire night. Only
Yeah.
because of how ridiculous. This was a one-on-one bout, right? And of course, this is everyone's favorite Cecil Nix, who we are very familiar with here at Mystery Wrestling. And he is taking on a Canadian legend in, the scene, as well as the original MVP. No, we're not talking about Montel Vontavious Porter. We are talking about Michael Von Patent, or the original MVP. And oh no, Benny, this is not a regular match. This is not even a falls count anywhere match. This is a falls count anyone match. I was like, how'd that work? And then I saw what it was. It was like, oh my God, this is going to be the best match ever. And it was glorious to watch the chaos because in order to win the match, so this match was buck wild because we had everything. We had attempted people.
Oh, we lost Mikey. So there was okay.
I was talking about not Montana MVP we know, so.
Oh no, talk about luck. So this Cecil Nix guy is pretty funny. Like this Strickland propane shirt he's got on, it makes total sense. He looks like a grown up Bobby Hill. Like, at one point in this match, Cecil Nix grabs a fan out of the audience, brings him in, and as soon as they get into the ring, security guards swarm the ring and tackle him and get him out. Fantastic spot.
It definitely was. So, I'm gonna get this camera situated fixed in a little bit. I was laughing so damn hard during this whole entire match. Again, like you said, Betty, we had a whole entire and we had camera people trying to get pinned. We had extra referees and security guards. Like, this was nuts.
Yeah, so much fun. I think, like, that's what, like, made me fall in love with Mystery Wrestling in the first place, was the playing of on the tropes of wrestling rules. Like, there was this one time where it was like a 60-minute Iron Man match, one fall to a finish, and I was like, "I'm in."
Be like, the answer is yes. My goodness, I loved it so freaking much. But again, this was a falls count anyone match. Ultimately, it would be Cecil Nix who would defeat Michael Von Payton for the win. Yeah, I had a blast with this one. Please bring this stipulation back. I need more fall count anyone matches.
Actually, did he beat MVP, or did he beat that kid that he pulled out of the audience?
I was dying. That was the best thing. Oh, that kid is amazing. He gets 10 out of 10 for me. Good. Oh, freaking hilarious. But yeah, more of this, please, because this was great. And speaking of more, I would like to see more of Abaddon on my screen. So
Yeah,
we get into our fifth match, and honestly, this was great. So this was a Monsters Ball match. So one of my favorite gimmicky stipulations. Of course, I am a TNA person who covers the TNA, and we are very familiar with Monster Balls over at TNA.
love Monster Ball.
I love a good Monsters Ball. So I was already in with that. And then, of course, you have Abaddon in here, and his facing Cruel, and then to make it even better for me, I was like, I swear y'all are watching this because this is such a weird intersection for just me. Because you get a Monsters Ball, you get Abaddon and Cruel. And this also happens to be a Monsters Ball match for the MLW World Heavyweight Championship, which Cruel is carrying right now. And I was just like, oh my God, this is about to eat, and eat it did. Doors, chairs, craziness. I was just like, this is so beautiful to watch. I loved it.
This was really fun. Like, I like Abaddon is very innovative in her gear and their gear, and I like the dope show, Marilyn Manson dope show, and I'm like, "Why the mask?" And then I looked him up, and, well, the mask work because he's pretty, so
It's like that. It's like the SpongeBob meme. Oh no, he's hot.
Exactly. Oh, no. No, he can't be that hot, if he's being this character, so I get it. Totally just broke his gimmick, but whatever.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, Cruel is one of those independent talents that I was just like, how does he keep pulling all the spooky people? Of course, he has his match with Abaddon. Him and Shotzi are a tag team in some of the independent promotions. I'm like, how'd that happen? I'm like, sir, I'm jealous. Like, how'd that work? But again, this Monsters Ball match was really fun. Cruel does pertain to the MLW World Heavyweight Championship. But yes, more Cruel, but more specifically, more Abaddon, please. That would
Yes,
be great. So fun.
your MPX Women's World Champion.
Let's get it. So, way to go. No notes for this one. Had a blast with this one. I'm just gonna
Somebody get this guy. Let him out in the sun.
slow clap because this gimmick has been going and I am here for it. So, of course, we are getting Gabriel Floyd and versus definitely alive Jason Exile. I'm just like, I don't know how many more ways we could do all this. And we get these two in a 67-man match, right? It's not a 60-minute, but a 60-second Iron Man match. And wouldn't you know it? We had a time limit draw for this one.
5 more seconds.
For real. I was like, I'm with you, crowd. 5 more seconds, please. This is so freaking ridiculous, and I love it.
You know, the first thing one of the first thing I saw when I came in a little bit later after this whole situation here. I mean, like, with why he's definitely alive. And you know what this gimmick needs? The day that somebody finds some steel drums, Wheeler Yuta, this guy starts dancing like burning at the beach.
Fun time limit draw, so, you know, we'll get them next time, kids.
I think we talked about that longer than it lasted.
For real. Alrighty. So everything up to this point has been really fun. We had some laughs. We had some fun wrestling. But this gets one of these because I was just like, the fact that this is a story that's been building over like monthly shows has been fun, right? Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, this was fan freaking tastic. I was like, oh my God, we actually get wrestling. And I was like, Evil Uno, where is this in the promotion that you currently work for? Like, also,
Locked it in, bro.
he literally locked in. And Stu Grayson, man, I was just like, I wish you were still on my weekly television screen because you are also fantastic. But this is for all the marbles, and it is also for the Mystery Wrestling Championship. Evil Uno defending his home turf against Stu Grayson, who is the epitome of anti-comedy wrestling. This was a fantastic match. Holy hell. I was like not expecting an actually crazy, like, oh, they're actually wrestling.
Yeah.
This is a thing of beauty. I had fun.
There was another podcast that, like, I won't get into that has Tony Schiavone on it, and they were reviewing Shikara matches this week, and that set me down a big old rabbit hole the other day of watching Shikara. And the reason I bring this up is because, and if somebody pressed pause and then hit him, he wouldn't sell it until somebody pressed the button again.
Okay.
But anyways, I've been watching these guys going for a very long time, and they never get old, even though we all do. But I digress. It's a great match, great show.
100%. Of course, Stu Grayson would ultimately end up not only retaining the championship, but he does win all of the marbles. We continue to see Evil Uno get the beatdown, And then we had two masked hockey men in hockey jerseys jump in to defend themselves. And Penny, when I tell you, in Mystery Wrestling's darkest moment, a hero returned. And that hero was in the form of London Lightning. So it's like, head up. Like,
Thank God, because those vignettes that they were doing were going way too long. Like,
just in the best way possible. And at first, when I
absolutely, but, like, the joke
yeah.
it was like
Rails. Oh, man, it was so much fun. They were running gag, but I turned it into the plaza. I was like, "London Lightning here to come save the day and save Mystery Wrestling from Stu Grayson." So, this is gonna be fun going forward. It seems that London Lightning is back in Mystery Wrestling to defend its honor. Who knows if we're gonna get a match between London and Stu Grayson at Mystery Wrestling 20. But London Lightning saving Evil Uno is kind of what ends Mystery Wrestling 19. And this was such a fun show. I think in between all the things we watched, like, I don't want to say that this is not real professionally, because comedy wrestling is a actual form of wrestling. But between all the weekly shows and everything that we watch on a weekly basis, this is such a really fun palate cleanser. It's really fun to watch, an easy 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on how long the show goes. And it gives you everything. You get really fun matches, you get ridiculousness, and you have a tee hee and a ha ha, which, laughter is the best medicine of all, according to the folks out there on the internet. So, Mystery Wrestling continues to be fun. Mystery Wrestling 19 was fun. And I'm looking forward to Mystery Wrestling 20, which not only Evil Uno will be there because duh, it's his promotion, but Tyler Breeze is going to be there, and I was just like, "Fashion review, let's go."
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, bring Dango with him. Like, of those guys.
I was like, I don't know how the contracts work because, TNA over there, but yeah, let's get the fashion police in Mystery Wrestling. That would be amazing. But again, Wrestling 20 will be happily happening in November, which is leading into the Thanksgiving weekend. So the next time you will see the Grapple Gurus is going to be the week after Thanksgiving, where we review Mystery Wrestling 20. And then that is the final Mystery Wrestling show of the year, because Mystery Wrestling 21 will not be happening until January, but we are going international, y'all, because Mystery Wrestling 21 is going to come to us from Cardiff, Wales, which
Nice.
makes me excited. And I was like, wow, they're expanding. I just need them to come to the United States. I know it's not great right now, but Mystery Wrestling, come to Los Angeles or the West Coast, because we got you here in California, man.
Yeah, I don't blame
But
them for not
I
coming.
know, honestly, I'm like, same. I live here, but that's going to be it for us here at Grapple Gurus. We still have a really fun week going on later tonight, whether it's live stream or pre-recorded. We're going to see how I feel in like 5 minutes, but I will be back here reviewing Progress Wrestling's Jump in D Line, which was really, really fun to watch this past weekend. Progress Wrestling continues to do really well with their talent. And I'm super excited to talk about the show. We had a killer main event in a triple threat for the tag team championships. The internet's favorite bald man, Simon Miller, makes a bold declaration.
Hmm.
And we have a new Progress Women's Champion, and it is well deserved. So you come on by at 7:30 p.m. Pacific to come see all that pan out. And then, of course, we are wrapping up the week with our WWE review on Sunday as we lead into the calm before the storm, with a regular schedule with not a lot of pay-per-views, but things are happening. But me and Benny got to get up on out of here. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Grapple Gumshoes and Mystery Wrestling 19. And from all of us here at the BC WrestlePod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I will be seeing y'all later in about an hour for Progress Wrestling Jump in the Line. But until then, and until next time, peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.